When we talk about sports sedans, the BMW 3 Series comes into mind. Classic. When we talk about a premium sedan to show that you've made it in life, the Mercedes-Benz C-Class. Predictable. But what if I told you there's one car that's able to do both? The Volvo S60 T8 R-Design. Download the official WapCar app now on Google Play Store. Hello everybody, this is Adrian for WapCar.my and I'm all about the details. This is Volvo Cars Malaysia's latest premium compact sedan, the Volvo S60 T8 R-Design. It goes up against the likes of the BMW 330e M Sport as well as the Mercedes-Benz C300 AMG line. Now the latter is because Mercedes-Benz Malaysia no longer offers a plug-in hybrid variant of their C-Class. The Volvo brand in Malaysia is well known to be big, safe, solid. You hardly use adjectives such as attractive, sporty, exciting to describe a Volvo. While its newer generation of Volvo cars have made a paradigm shift in terms of its design to appeal to the younger crowd a little bit more, the 90 series as well as SUVs still portrays that safe image, but not this S60. This S60 is unlike any Volvo that came before it. It's sexy, it's dynamic, it's eye-catching. It's everything what a young person would love to have. The proportions of this car is just spot on. The rear overhangs, the stance is mean and aggressive, and those massive 19-inch alloys just fills up the wheel arches beautifully. The well-defined body lines on this car is like a well-trained athlete, so sexy to look at. And the R-Design body kit just adds that spicy, sporty flavor without overdoing it. I love how the car looks fast standing still, but when in motion, I am just lost for words. It may be because of the novelty, because you don't see as many S60 as a 3 Series or a C-Class on the road, but I'm telling you, I hardly swoon over a car's design, and this, I am absolutely in love. In this locally assembled version of the S60, Volvo Car Malaysia has added a new remote boot release function where you have the key in your pocket, walk up to the car and do a swiping motion underneath the rear bumper and it pops up automatically. Now this is not a powered boot, so to close it you still have to operate it manually. However, with this, Volvo Car Malaysia has also omitted some of the features which were available in the CBU variants, such as foldable rear seats, 12-volt sockets, tie-down hooks, as well as storage netting. But no matter, because the boot space is still pretty sizable at 442 litres, which is bigger than a BMW 3 Series, but slightly smaller than a C-Class. In here you find a very minimalistic cabin, not as lavish as the C-Class, but definitely not as boring as the 3 Series. You get charcoal roof lining, but you don't feel claustrophobic in here because of this massive panoramic glass roof. Other touches in here like the metal mesh inlays, the diamond cut for the start-stop switch as well as drive mode selector, the R-Design steering wheel with pedal shifters. Overall, this is a very well-appointed cabin. The minimalistic theme is applied to the 12.3-inch LCD digital instrument cluster as well, because the layout is very simple and you don't get to choose or change the types of information you want to see. There's only your media, navigation, as well as the occasional phone call pop-up, and that's about it. And to be honest, I quite like it actually, because it doesn't overload you with information, which sometimes can be distracting while you're driving. All the car's main functions and information are presented through this brilliant 9-inch touchscreen infotainment system. It's portrait style and it's super intuitive and easy to use because it's basically like an iPad. You have 3 main pages, your application, your home page, as well as all the car's settings and functions, such as your 360-degree camera, your heads-up display, your lane keeping aid. And this CKD version of the S60, Volvo Car Malaysia has also added the Pilot Park Assist feature, which is basically a semi-autonomous parking feature which helps you park in or out of a parking spot. The S60 is equipped with a 600-watt, 14-speaker Harman Kardon surround sound system. While there's no Bowers & Wilkins, it still offers the best audio quality in the segment. And if you're planning on buying this car, make sure you invest in unlimited mobile data because you have to use the built-in Spotify app. You can connect the infotainment, tether it to your phone's hotspot, and then you can use Spotify built-in app. Then make sure you go into the settings and select the extreme audio quality. Toy around with the sound experience. This is my preferred settings. I prefer the subwoofer to be a little bit lower so it doesn't give that overly heavy bassy notes. And then just indulge in your favorite tunes. I have to say, the bass, the clarity, everything is just so crisp, and you can actually hear the individual notes being played through the speakers. It's just an amazing experience. My next favorite item in the S60, or rather all modern Volvos, are the seats. Now the seats are co-developed with orthopedic specialists, which is a branch of medicine that studies the correction of the bone as well as the correct sitting posture. So everything about the seats sculpture and design just holds, hugs and supports you in all the right places. On long distance drives, you can sit on these for hours at length and you don't feel sore or tired at all. And not only that, it offers plenty of adjustments for both the front passenger as well as the driver seats, and you're definitely able to get the proper sitting position. I got a feeling that Volvo thinks that buyers of the X60 lives a very minimalistic lifestyle, and I mean that have very little belongings on them. Because every time I get into the car and look around, I kind of have trouble unloading all my stuff in the S60. So for example, I have my wallet, phone, keys, my power bank. Let's see. Okay, my keys can go here, which means I don't have space for a water bottle. Center armrest, very shallow because this is where the hybrid batteries are at, so you get a massive center hump. So yeah, center armrest storage. Nope, it doesn't fit my wallet, but it fits my power bank though. So your wallet have to go to the side here, phone here, and you have nowhere to put your big bottle. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to buy a S60, live a very minimalistic lifestyle. Into the back seats of the S60, and I'm very happy to report that you still get the same comfortable, well-sculptured, supportive seats as the front seats do. Now, I have the front seat adjusted to my usual driving position and I'm 175 cm tall. I have about 3 and a bit tennis balls worth of space. Headroom, about 1 tennis balls, no complaint. Space in the footwell is aplenty too, and I'm able to slot my feet underneath the front seat to get a very comfortable and support for my thighs. Now, the middle passenger may complain a little bit though because it has quite a tall center hump, as I've mentioned earlier. It's because of the hybrid battery pack in here. So yeah, the middle passengers would have to fight for a little bit of room with the other 2 passengers on the side. Other amenities in here include 2 back pockets. You might think that there's no rear air vents in the S60. Well, that's because the air vents are mounted on the B pillars right here for much more better efficiency in terms of cooling to your face. Center armrest, 2 cup holders, nicely integrated, and you get a little storage space here for you to put your phone or whatever, as well as a little storage space for your little toy cars and stuff. Despite being the same model series as the XC60, and both of them shares the same platform, the S60 do not get a child booster seat in the rear bench, unlike the XC60. So what a child booster seat does is that you're able to fold up the seats here and give a much safer sitting position for younger children. Headline figures for this S60 is this T8 twin-engine plug-in hybrid powertrain that combines a 2-litre turbocharged and supercharged 4-cylinder petrol engine that delivers 320 horsepower and 400 Nm of torque, with an electric motor that serves up to 87 horsepower and 240 Nm of torque. So the T8 plug-in hybrid has a combined system output of 407 horsepower and 640 Newton meters of torque. Yep, that's more torque than a Mercedes-AMG C43, by the way. So in our WapCar real world 0 to 100 test, we've got about 4.9 seconds average. Volvo's claim figures for this S60 is 4.4 seconds. However, realistically, numbers only tell you half the story actually. Because in the real world, the acceleration characteristics of this S60 T8 is just addictive. The moment you put your foot down, you get the instant torque from the electric motors, and then immediately after, the combustion engine kicks in to give you that extra boost and continue on with your acceleration. Wow. And more noticeably is that the transition between the electric motors and combustion engine kicking in is just seamless. Now, the reason why you don't catch the combustion engine kicking in is because the S60 has fantastic cabin insulation. Based on our WapCar NVH tests at 110 km per hour, we found that the S60 averages about 68 decibels. Yes, it's about 1 decibel noisier, higher than the G23 series. However, at 60 and 90 km per hour, the S60 is the quietest in class. And I think that is very important to a lot of people because 60 and 90 km per hour, those are city speeds. The quiet cabin is further complemented by this brilliant suspension setup. The S60 doesn't ride on some fancy air suspension or adaptive suspension. Nope, it's only a passive suspension setup with one setting. And I think that Volvo engineers has done a brilliant job in setting up the suspension. The ride quality is just super comfortable, super supple, and the suspension just settles very quickly. Going over bumps and humps, this is super comfortable for daily driving. Compared to the overly twitchy setup in the 3 Series, as well as the crashy suspension in the C-Class, this Volvo suspension, I have to say, it's the best among the lot. And even when you throw it around the bends, the S60 will perform. The handling characteristics is very neutral because you have the electric motors sending power to the rear wheels to negate understeer. And although the steering is not the sharpest out there, it still tracks very accurately. But oftentimes, I keep forgetting that this car weighs 2,041 kgs. Only when I anchor on the brakes, yeah, that's when I'm reminded that this is a heavy car. But overall, as a sports sedan, although the S60 is not the sharpest tool out there, it's something that you want and you can enjoy every day. But if you want to live with this every day, here are some ways where you can maximize the T8 plug-in hybrid powertrain. So the S60 comes equipped with an 11.6 kWh lithium-ion battery pack, which is mounted right here in the center transmission tunnel. And Volvo claims that it's able to give up to 49 kilometers of pure electric range. However, they've also published that the electric range is most effective under 2 conditions, which is low urban speeds as well as cool temperatures. So if I were to put it into Malaysian driving context, it means that you have to drive this car in city speeds, either early in the morning or late evening and at night. That is where you get the maximum electric range from the batteries. It is also best if you keep the car plugged into a power source to charge the batteries and not rely only on the engine as well as regenerative braking to charge the batteries. Now, in our WapCar fuel consumption test, where we have a mix of city as well as highway driving, on a full battery charge at 100%, the S60 returned about 5.9 liters per 100 km. And that to me is really amazing because remember, this car weighs 2 tons and has 640 Newton meters of torque. But if you adopt the EV ownership mindset, you'll be able to get even a lower petrol consumption. So basically, you think, drive, and use the S60 as if it was an EV. So you plan your route ahead, you keep the car plugged in as often as you can, and you integrate the process of charging your car into your daily driving. So after spending a few days in the S60, I've come to realize why do you seldom see Volvo owners terrorizing the highway despite having 640 Newton meters of torque. Well, that's because Volvos are best enjoyed at a cruise. Gentle, comfortable, relaxed. Right now I'm stuck in a jam. I have pilot assist turned on. I have my Harman Kardon surround sound system on full blast. I'll just sit back, relax, and enjoy until I get to my destination. As you can probably tell by now, I'm absolutely smitten by this Volvo S60. Everything about it just oozes desirability. It's got the looks, it's got the performance, full suite of ADAS including semi-autonomous driving feature, as well as a bang-on sound system. If I was in the market for a premium compact sedan, something that's powerful, nice to drive, comfortable, and something that screams presence upon arrival, my pick will be this Volvo S60 T8 R-Design. But what about you? Which is your pick? The C-Class, 3 Series, or this Volvo S60? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this. Download the official WapCar app on Google Play Store now for all your latest news, reviews, and comparisons to help you find your next perfect car. See you there!